The Mazda and the Nissan were very difficult to shift. You had to downshift all the way to second to get up most of the steeper grades. The Corsica had no problem getting through the mountains.
Well, the Corsica was certainly the most aerodynamic of all of the cars I drove. It's a new body style. It looks new. It's not a look-alike car.
It's got the beautiful rounded aerodynamic shape, smooth lines.
I think it's a much better looking car than any of the other cars that we looked at today.
I like the way it's shaped because of aerodynamics. It's going to give you a lot better fuel efficiency. Plus, it keeps up with today's times and today's market.
The Stanza lacked personality. It's yesterday's technology.
I found the Stanza to be very plain Jane on the inside. I was very disappointed in this car for as much as I've heard about it. It was plain, the interior was cheap looking, the car was extremely noisy on the inside. Road noise and engine noise was very annoying. Even the radio didn't drown it out.
The Nissan is probably the cheapest vehicle. It has the most road noise. I didn't like the handling. The room I didn't like. There really wasn't anything about it I liked.
Toyota was well built. It had a lot of features. It had a lot of bells and whistles. It had a very high price tag.
Surprised at how the lack of power in the Toyota Camry.
The Camry really lacked aggressiveness. Again, especially in the steeper grades, it just didn't want to get up the hills at all. You had to really punch it to get it to go.
I found the Mazda to be a basic car, a basic transportation, an uninteresting car, not an exciting car to drive at all.
I think probably the weakest thing on the Mazda is the acceleration. It lacks acceleration, and it does not give you a lot of room on the inside.
The Mazda's overall interior appeared very chintzy to me. It was not well seamed. The fabric was very light grade. It just didn't have a very luxurious feel to it at all.
The Mazda's another noisy car. Road noise, engine noise. It was not a pleasant car to ride in.
Of all the cars we drove, the Honda was the closest competitor to the Corsica. The Honda was well finished. It was a responsive car. I felt a little cramped in the Honda. I did not feel that in the Corsica.
The noise level in the Honda was higher than the Corsica.
The Honda Accord has got outdated styling, whereas the Corsica is more futuristic. It's more in time with today's market.
It's got a beautiful design. I think women would be very interested in the design. They would be proud to be an owner.
If you were a family, 2 or 3 kids, I think the Corsica would give you a lot of room, not only in the front, but also the rear, and it also gives you quite an amount of trunk space.
Well, I think the Corsica would be more aimed towards the middle-class families, typically women drivers, but you're going to sell a lot to the business community also.
I think the biggest selling advantage that Corsica offers over all of the competitors is its newness. It is new technology. It's a car that is like no other car. The design, the aerodynamics are a real knockout, and I really think that's what makes people buy cars. If they look great, they'll buy them.
The Corsica overall styling is very unique, and I think it will be quite a seller for Chevrolet.
Our customers are going to like the interior room, the styling, the handling of the car, and the power that it has available.
The instrumentation on it is real easy to read, and it's real easy to operate on the Corsica.
The front visibility, the driver's visibility through the windshield in the Corsica is great. It's different than the other car I've ever driven.
It handles very well. The engine is superior, I think, to any of the others I drove.
As the Corsica's stylish, it's roomy, offers aerodynamics, good power, it's quiet, excellent comfort in the inside, plenty of roominess, and a huge amount of trunk space is very surprising for a stylish car like that.
It's just a nice, roomy, comfortable riding car. Positions itself very well between the Cavalier and the Celebrity.
It's going to sell real well, mainly because it gives us something that we were missing in the marketplace.
The Corsica was a fun car to drive. I enjoyed it. I would love to own one, and I think a lot of other women and men would like it, especially women.
The Corsica is definitely going to be a winner, and the Corsica is going to sell very well.
You bet. I think we got a real winner in the Corsica.
The compact family sedan market is rich with potential for you. In total, compacts will take more than 17% of all new car sales, with more than 1,800,000 buyers projected for 1987. Now that is a lot of prospects.
Now, it's also a market loaded with competition. There are 15 different nameplates represented in 1987 alone. But there's one vehicle that's going to stand out from the crowd. It's the all-new Chevrolet Corsica.
Now, in the first 3 programs on this video disc, you learned about Corsica's many new features and reasons to buy over the competition. Well, in this program, you'll find out who your buyers are and what they're looking for in a compact family sedan.
We'll also touch on some of the finer points of Corsica technology you can use in your sales presentations with them.
Right, but first, let's take an overview of the market and see just where Corsica fits in Chevrolet's lineup. And of course, to fill you in on that, there's no one better than Chevrolet's General Marketing Manager, Tom Stout.
As I said here at the National Dealer Convention, history has proven time and again that the overall reputation of a new car is by and large established very early in its life cycle. And so it's critical that all of us do our very best work coming right out of the chute to make a good first impression. And remember, you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. Now we're supplying you with the vehicle you need to really make that first impression tremendous. A unique new family car, Corsica, aimed at the very heart of mainstream America. Now this is a Chevrolet exclusive. It's yours to sell, nobody else's. And you need to combine your great selling skills with this car's unique appeal. And quite frankly, you've got an outstanding story to tell to your prospects with this new Corsica. It's the first product from the new CPC organization, designed like no other vehicle before it. It's the most widely researched vehicle probably ever in Chevrolet history. Now this car then has more consumer input up front to meet their demands, yes, their desires, than ever before. Now Corsica is going to reestablish Chevrolet as a major force in the compact market. It fits neatly right in between that Cavalier and Celebrity in the lineup, giving you, I think, a potentially huge source of income. Now, Corsica's image is distinct. It's unlike any other thing on the market. It's going to recapture former Citation owners, and I promise you, it will stand out from the mass of competitive compact cars on the market. Now, Corsica shouldn't rob sales from Cavalier and Celebrity. It won't need to. There are enough other prospects out there. But we really expect you to continue your strong selling job on each of them. But as for cars like Ford Tempo, Toyota Camry, Plymouth Reliant, well, they've had a free ride long enough. And we'll use Corsica to cannibalize their lineup to eat those guys' lunch instead of our own. Now, who are the buyers? Well, we're not going to strictly categorize them into one confined, narrow group. No, this car has too much appeal for that. But the research shows that the typical family sedan buyer is probably between 30 and 45 years old. He's married with perhaps a couple of preteens, and half of them will probably be women, and that's very important to all of us. Now, they're also very brand conscious. They look to the nameplates that stand for traditional value, so they'll look long and hard at Chevrolet. Now, what are they looking for? Well, basic family transportation, yes, but they want more than just that. They want style and personality in a car, something they'll be proud to have in their driveways. And one look at Corsica leaves no doubt at all that we'll fill that bill. Now, what else do you have to sell? Well, for starters, the roomiest interior in the compact class, and it beats every competitor in overall room and comfort. And there's true seating for 5 here, and that's not just wishful thinking. You've also got one of the most efficient compact cars in its class. Affordability. That's a big reason to buy for this market. And with its standard power team, Corsica's EPA ratings of 25 city, 34 highway are among the very best there are in a compact. Now that's going to mean fewer stops at the fuel pump and more miles to the dollar. Now, of course, if it's extra muscle buyers want, you've got one of the only V6s available in a compact, and with the best horsepower rating among its chief competition, bar none. So sell the new Corsica with pride. It's a unique vehicle that stands out from the compact car clutter. And combined with your selling skills, it's a vehicle that can make that first buyer impression a really lasting one.
Tom Stout referred to the 3 keys that will attract buyers to the Corsica: overall style, room and comfort, and affordability. We saw how Corsica satisfies the first 2 requirements in the earlier programs. Now we'll concentrate on that last point. What makes Corsica truly affordable in your buyer's mind? Dave?
One of the reasons Corsica is so affordable is this: the standard 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's a second-generation design with all new features that make life easier on the pocketbook. At the heart of the engine is this: a new Multec fuel injector. It gives a boost to overall fuel economy by spraying a much finer fuel pattern into the manifold. Less fuel is wasted, meaning greater efficiency. This new injector is also more resistant to clogging, allowing the engine to run on most any grade of unleaded fuel.
Another difference is right here: the single serpentine drive belt. It's modeled after the system on a Corvette that eliminates 2 belts and helps reduce maintenance and replacement costs. There's also an automatic belt tensioner that eliminates adjustments, extending the belt's lifespan.
And say goodbye to the conventional distributor. The computer-controlled coil ignition system located here eliminates it by using the electronic control module to calculate the precise spark timing. Your buyers benefit from improved starting performance and less parts to service, meaning easier tune-ups.
A car that's easy to maintain also translates into affordability. So the story continues under Corsica's hood, and literally one glance tells the story. All the fluid checks and fills are clearly labeled, easy to see and reach, such as coolant, windshield washer fluid, power steering, and there's no stretch to get to the oil. Here's the place to check the level and add more if required.
And there are other little serviceability touches. For example, new quad halogen headlamps use replaceable bulbs instead of traditional seal beams. Replacement is simple by just turning 2 lock tabs located here above the headlamps and folding the cover back. And there are no special tools needed to replace the bulbs. There's also an impact-resistant coating on the headlamp lens to protect the bulbs from stone damage and road debris.
Now, anyone who's spent time on their hands and knees stretching to replace fuses will find another thoughtful touch here. Corsica's fuse compartment is conveniently located on the side of the instrument panel. Just pop it open and replace the necessary fuse.
There's other under-the-skin technology that adds to Corsica's quality and affordability. Check your other reference materials, including the new products album and the audio cassette, for the full Corsica story.
They'll help you put Corsica at the top of the sales chart in compact cars.
And make a difference in your commissions.